Hello and welcome to the Silverstone Grand Prix event. Go over to Motorsports, then click on the F1 2020 series, and that tile there on the top left is the one you need to press. Go over and you will see that the event is open. Now I'm going to use the car I've already got, level 4 driver, level 8 principal. That's the best thing to do. It's going to be the cheapest way to do it. I really thought about starting with another car, but man, there's so many driver XP points I need yet, so I'm just not going to be doing that. So this is going to be stage 1, and we're going to go through all of this. And this first one here, most of the events on day 1 are going to be really easy. Now, if you haven't done an event like this before, where the PR is recommended, not required, there's one simple rule, and that is always pay attention to the description and only do what you have to do. So if it doesn't tell you to finish first, don't finish first. Like if it says finished at least 10th place, okay, well, just finish 10th place. Don't do any more than you have to, and this is about keeping the targets lower going forwards. So when we've had events like this in the past, people go all out crazy on day 1 and day 2, and then you get near the end of it and people are saying, oh my goodness, things are so hard, your bots are so much slower than mine, what did you do? Well, all I did was I managed them. I did as much bot slowing as I could in the early days, and that's going to save you currency in the later days. So sometimes it can be boring, sometimes you got to give up some earnings in the first few days, and then that'll save you currency going forward. So as you can see, that first stage, really easy, that first race. Just had to tailgate him for a while. Don't touch him, don't pass him, don't go off track. Same thing here. Same thing for all of this is don't go off track. This one's kind of fun, actually. You get to drive flat out fast, and you've got to catch the safety car. So this is our first chance getting to really open it up at Silverstone in this car in this event. Of course, you know, we've been able to run in the 2020 Champion Series, earning some driver XP. I haven't been doing that very much, honestly, because the fame pay there is so much less than the Invitational Series, but I've recently started buckling down and doing this. So we gotta do a few laps here, and you do get a little bit of grace off track. By the way, watch this. See how far over you can go? That's not off track. You could park there and you won't fail this event. So a lot of people don't realize that. That's not off track, and that's what can help you to get a lot of speed at this track, especially in time trials, or if you're trying to go extra far in an endurance race. You got to utilize that section of the track. It enables you to get into the throttle a lot earlier than you think you can at the exit of that corner. So the off-track amount here is, you get about 1 full second. There's a little bit of grace. Sometimes when they say off-track, it's like a fraction of a second, like the millisecond you go off track, you fail. And so far, if you go off track during this event, you won't immediately fail. You've got a hidden 1 second timer. So I call it a 1 second grace period. And that's just so if you, sometimes in a corner like that, you might dip off track a little bit, and they're not going to fail you for that. Now you see how I still have another whole lap to go. If you wanted to do maximum bot slowing, maximum bot management, you would save this until the end of the next lap. But man, I just don't want to put you guys through all that. So you can do it, and it will have some benefits. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip ahead, and I'll look at doing some more bot slowing on day 2. That is a little bit risky though. I should say stage 2. I'm trying to get used to that. All right, now we get a chance to race something that's got a little bit of speed. There's a whole lot of words there. It's not a difficult stage, but got to stay behind him for a bit and then pass him after we get onto lap 1. Right now we're at lap 0, so pass him when we get into lap 1, and then we still have to finish with him being within 100 meters. So I just have to be careful with him, stay behind him. If you hit him too hard, you will fail this stage. I found that out. So don't get too crazy with the drafting there and bump him. If you run with assists, they might be giving you trouble in these partial laps at the start. That's been a problem in the past, and you can see it in how the bots drive. The bots will drive these partial laps quite badly. In fact, I've noticed some interesting things about that. I'll get into that later when it's more pertinent, but Yeah, and then at this point, you'll probably find that if you run with assists, things feel normal. I can't do a lot of testing with assists because I actually find it very hard to drive with them now. I mean, they make me a lot slower, but at this point, even with steering assist, I drive the car a lot differently. By the way, I'm going to show you a little something here, how you can pit a car without failing a stage. And I'll get more into that trick later. There's a way that you can pit somebody in a stage where it says take no damage, and if you do it correctly, you won't get damaged. A little bit of a trick to it there, and I'll get into that more in a later stage here, in a later race. Now, I gotta let this guy catch up a little bit, so do a couple of donuts. That's another fun thing you can do when you run no assists. You can do donuts anytime you want to. I just had to pitch it sideways, feather the throttle, and make some donuts. Who doesn't like donuts? Well, maybe some people don't. I love donuts. All right, that's the end of that stage. By the way, I'm gonna be tallying up all of my earnings, and I'll be giving you the totals at the end of day 7. And in case I haven't said it, there are timestamp links in the description. All right, whole lot of writing on this one too. Basically, passed the Academy car 5 times. So that's it. Whole lot of writing to tell you that, and that's fine. Handling of this car is pretty good. I've got, like I said, I do have some principal and driver. So here I'm going to show you some little tricks about how you can take this guy out without getting damaged. You need to watch my gas pedal when I'm doing this. So I'll set this up here. I'll set it up so he's going to be coming past me. And watch the gas pedal. I let go of it just as I go to turn him. Watch. See that? And now I get back on the gas. Avoid him. I got to do this a few times. That's the trick. So if you're using tilt A, as the car goes across the front of your car, that's often when you hear those cracking sounds and you'll instantly fail every single time. But if you just get off the throttle when you turn a car, you don't fail. You'll see that I can get away with this multiple times in one race. Now here I thought, I'll just drive backwards for a bit. Where is this guy? What's he doing? Boy, I don't want him to hit me necessarily. There he goes. Okay, and whoa, don't go off track. That's annoying if you go off track and fail a stage. Now, I still have a whole lap to go, so that's why I might as well just take my time here. And also, like I said, you don't want to finish races super early with massive leads. That's going to make it harder for you going forward. I've got 2 more overtakes to go and we're getting into the last lap. So I better not get too crazy here. I'll do one nicely and then I'll do another pit maneuver. So there, I'll do a nice overtake, let him overtake me back, and then so right here, you could fly by him if you want to, but I just want to show you how this works. Watch my gas pedal. There you go. Oh, and then you finish. So you might want to take that right till the very end before you pass them again to get maximum bot slowing out of this. I'm not concerned yet. I'm doing a little bit, and there we go. That's the end of stage 1. And I'm going to be starting stage 2 right away. Because of my time zone here, I should be able to start it pretty quick. I'll explain that more in stage 2. It's actually September 17th for me where I am. See you soon.